Paper Play Action presents.
Good evening, Paper Play Action listeners. My name is Dre, hosting tonight's Minisode, the first of the Minisodes that I will be participating in, the first that I've hosted solo style. I hope you all are comfortable. I hope you all are well. I hope you all are safe and secure, and blessings to you all. If there's anything troubling you, I hope that right now lots of hope coming off of me in the moment, but I trust that I can reach you in some way as just a friendly voice, a friendly disembodied voice, and the vastness of the internet ether, just to share a few things that interest me amongst a list of really awesome stuff that got sent to me from our co-host and friend Monty Brown. These things stood out to me. I am fans of these things. I have a pre-existing enjoyment for these things already, but let's just kick it off with Dead by Daylight Tome 7, The Forsaken Rift. I've got the trailer here, and we've got the narrator back. So I'm just going to play this trailer, and this will be my second time watching it through. So I'm just going to play this trailer back, and then I'll go over a few notes that I took the first time I watched it. I'm getting another plague, as the Dead by Daylight fandom likes to jokingly call her. We got another plague skin, and already we are focusing on Bill. I can already imagine we're focusing on Bill because the Forsaken Tome trailers have really been focusing on Bill. Yeah, the narrator is we're talking about Bill. The narrator, is focusing entirely on Bill. So if you're not a Bill fan already, or if you do not already have a Left 4 Dead love within you, if that's not a franchise that you're already invested in or have been at some point in your gaming career, if you're a gamer, then you may not really care about the meme that Bill has become. Coming over from Left 4 Dead and being but being shared with Dead by Daylight. One of the only licensed character. I think that's noted in my notes. We got Claudette here. Yeah, so anybody who's got beef with Claudette and anybody who's not really a fan of Bill and thinks he's useless, or just uses him as a meme, you may not be super interested in the tome yet. The Mating Guard is the name of the plague outfit tonight. Serena Kassir is getting another outfit, the Brooklyn Knights outfit, and the Trapper is getting another outfit. That's enough from the trailer. Dead by Daylight is introducing even more mysticism, and I dig it. The fact that there's a legitimate picture animated trailer for Forsaken also is pretty cool. It features a younger Bill and very heavy zombie motifs, or not even motifs. It's zombies. There's zombies in there. That's awesome. It's been a while since I was heavily invested in Dead by Daylight, but this is pretty cool. Just the idea of tomes, because when I got back into Dead by Daylight after being away for a while, there was already like 2 or 3 tomes, something like that, maybe even 4. And even then, since then, I haven't played so much of Dead by Daylight to know the tome system in and out. So I don't know if it was anything different. I assume it's basically challenges with some lore behind it, some sort of lore behind it. And that mechanic for Dead by Daylight, I wonder if we could actually get to, well, let me just read what I've shared here, or written down in my notes. It would be really cool if we had to deal with zombies as well for a little bit. So the Forsaken Tome is the latest tome tree to go down in the game for the challenges and stuff. And I actually came back into the game after some tomes were introduced. So that was a pleasant surprise for me. I'm not going to, well, I just reiterated myself, but that was a pleasant surprise for me. It wasn't something that I did complain about. I thought that it was not refreshing, because it's, a tome tree or a challenge tree. It's nothing different to me. Maybe tomes are a lot more intricate than I'm making them, and if they are, then it's just left to me to discover as I play the game. But it's cool visually to me, like as a fan of very Lovecraftian, glowy visuals, like dark fantasy. I get that sort of vibe. I get that energy. I don't like saying vibe. I get that radiates off of the tomes. And I mean, when you say the word tome, you're already getting into what people would consider archaic terminologies and things like that. Let's get back to these notes. Let's get a little bit on track here. Yeah, just having new things to do in the added mysticism was a big draw for me. Billy Badass Overbeck, famous from Left 4 Dead, he has more cosmetics, he has a trinket. Claudette has a new outfit, which is pretty cool. I mean, that's just cool to me because I used Claudette. I didn't use Claudette as a bush camper, so her new outfit is not going to be ideal for bush camping. It's very bright. So if you're thinking about getting the new outfit for Claudette, oh yeah, I get to use my bush camping survivor and hide in the what is Claudette's nickname? She has some sort of nickname has something to do with I can't remember. It's been a while, but I can't remember her nickname that the community has given her. Rather, given the players who use Claudette for bush camping. It's really funny. But Zarina's got a new cosmetic. The Trapper's got a new cosmetic, and Kate has a new cosmetic. I was actually a Kate main for a little while, and you all know why, because she has a crutch perk, and you need that as a survivor main. Yeah, it seems like Bill's the main focus for this tome. He's the only licensed character that's free to all the players, and I'm sure most people are gonna be unironically playing him now because his new outfit does look pretty badass. And it gives me that desire for the zombies. And that's kind of why I need zombies in this game. It's got the blood, it's got the guts on it, it's got the intestines, it's military garb, it's built. But I kind of need zombies in this game just a little bit. And only for a little bit. It doesn't, it could just be a test or a trial type situation. It doesn't need to be that many zombies. It'd be really cool. I'm serious, it'd be really cool. Alright, so hear me out, right? The zombies could be minor obstacles, very minor, and so minor that we could kill them if we so choose. But and like I do mean that they're so minor that we could kill them if we so choose. They're not something. They're not an objective to accomplish. What objective could there possibly be for a zombie? To kill it. They're not in any way crucial for a survivor to win the game or for a killer to win the game. In any strategy. Right? We're not trying to make this a zombie-focused game. We're not trying to now take Dead by Daylight and make it half a zombie game at all. Half a zombie game at all. We're not trying to do that. So you could kill them if you so choose, but this would also alert the killer, because the zombies, we could say, are linked to the killer through the entity. Right? I feel like this is an idea that people have had before, and it's a brilliant idea. I don't know why it's not done. but we could say that the entity has been getting pissed off because the killers aren't sacrificing enough of the survivors to it. So it links these weak undead that could be arisen after hooking a survivor 3 times. It doesn't have to be one survivor that you hook 3 times. After hooking 3 survivors, or after getting 3 hooks. After getting 3 hooks, you can arise, or you could give life to these. You could raise the dead. You could raise these zombies, and there wouldn't be that many of them, but they'd be on the map. So the killer is motivated even further to be aggressive because having these zombies, no matter how you see it, if the zombies are going to be attracted to the presence of the killer if they're in a certain range. That could be a way of keeping the killer, the survivor off of a generator, right? And that's an easy fix. That's an easy obstacle to overcome for a survivor. So the killer is motivated even further to be aggressive so that they can get the ability to raise these zombies, okay? But this increased aggression could make the killer sloppy, which does work in the survivor's favor, right? And if it doesn't, then we're thinking about some really strategic killers now. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're thinking about. The incentive of the survivors to kill the zombies, which again are not vast in number at all. That incentive would be to pick up items off of their body or to just eliminate the amount of help the killer has, because there are lots of roles when it comes to the game as far as the survivor is played. But the one role that I think the survivors don't have, and this is what most of us do want, is the ability to use our physical prowess to defend people. Because we do have people who are more defenders, who are more attackers, and I will put myself on the front line and eliminate what threat that I can for the betterment of the group. And most of the players that we have in the Dead by Daylight community are that kind of I'm not gonna say they are that kind of player, but within most of the hardcore Dead by Daylight fandoms community, there are plenty who are like that. I can tell you that for a fact. There are plenty of the hardcore Dead by Daylight fans who are genuine defenders. That's the kind of role that they would like to play when they're in a support group. In real life, in games, in squad games, that's who they are. And so it would be really cool to allow that to be within this game. At this point, it'd be a perfect evolution. I think this tome is a great way to start that. We could get so you're picking up items off their body, and so what if you're looking for a specific item? Well, we should be able to see the items too. So that the killer, the survivor can make an educated decision on whether or not they want to kill the zombie, right? So instead of, maybe I see a zombie coming my way, I'm on a generator, and instead of saying, okay, I'm gonna just move away from my generator, lead this zombie away for a little bit, and then come back to my generator, I see this zombie has a flashlight clipped onto their jacket, or the lapel, like a constructor jacket or some shit like that, or a key dangling off their neck, or a map in their back pocket, or a medkit strapped to their back. Easy. You can easily do that, and you kill the zombie, and you get that item, and whatever the item rarity is, that's completely, you can say that's random, okay? And again, killing the zombie would alert the killer, but and there are all kinds of perks that you can create around this system, all kinds of ideas or abilities that would increase, your chances to get some sort of item, or decrease the range that a killer has to be to you when after you've killed a zombie and it alerts the killer, or it doesn't alert the killer. You know, something like that. That's easily done. I just think. Let me get back on track. Again, killing the zombie would alert the killer, but just think about how much more people would want to play both the survivor and the killer just off of this feature alone. Survivors would be even more tactical, even more immersed. I also think there'd be far less survivor complaints and killer BMing. The endgame counter, honestly, I think the endgame counter is still a good idea with these zombies included, but it should be slowed down a little bit. You know, the timer shouldn't be as fast. Survivors do really want to fight for their survival, and as a survivor main, I think there's far more of the sentiment after you've won a match of, yeah, fuck you, killer. You know, you piece of shit. Yeah, like you know, like, suck my dick, killer. Like, I got it, yeah. And like there's too much hostility, you know, and not enough like excitement that you got out. It wasn't organized. It wasn't really organized. You guys aren't really working together, and still you can have this feature. I think having the zombies would make more survivors work together, and you may start to, you know, well, what about, you know, survivors being able to communicate and that sort of thing? You know, now we're putting even more strategy into the survivors' hands, and they're getting more of a way to get out. I don't quite agree. I understand that sentiment, but I do think that the more power you give into the survivors' hands while balancing that with an obstacle for that survivor that is within the control of the killer, then you're getting a more balanced game. Everything needs to be balanced within the survivor and obstacles against the survivor for this game, because the game is called Dead by Daylight. Not feed me my dinner. What do I mean by that? I mean, yeah, killers should have to work for their food. You're the killer. You are the killer. You need to work for this kill. That's why there's 4 of us. But if you balance the obstacles against the survivor within the game, that's within the control of the killer. I'm not talking about boosting the killer all the time. I'm saying balance the obstacles of this against the survivor within the game itself. That's all I'm saying. Next up, Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. And I just want to read straight off of my notes for this one, because I am running out of time, and I do want to really quickly talk about the last one, which is Game Builder Garage. Spoiler alert. But Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance, I am a D&D fan. Big fan. However, I unfortunately haven't played any campaigns because my nerdy ass friends wanted to play their tabletop RPGs instead of D&D, which is totally fine because I had a great time regardless. So how can I be a big fan and have not played any campaigns? Well, because I have had the wonder and the fortunate ability to live my wonder vicariously through streamed campaigns, you know. Of course, the first one, and my favorite to my heart, being Critical Role. Yes, say what you want. Yeah, Critical Role fanboy. No, I do love Critical Role. I do appreciate the just the level of production and the fact that these are voice actors. You know, actors, these are really there's just so much talent. There's just so much fucking talent. Okay? But anyways, there's a local comic shop that may be hosting a campaign, local to me, that may be hosting a campaign, but anyways, I digress. Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. Of course, this game is set in the Forgotten Realms campaign setting. So if you haven't yet found a party to sit at a table with, like me, to start any of the various campaigns, I personally have at least 3 that I'm eager to play, being like 2 of them. The top 2 that I'm most eager to play being Curse of Strahd and Waterdeep Dragon Heist. You'll be able to put yourself in the lore of D&D with this video game, with Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. The game is 20 years old. It came out in 2001 for PlayStation 2 and Xbox. So this is a 4K re-release for the game. It's not a remaster. Let that be clear. This is only a graphically scaled up re-release of Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance, released in 2001. So Dark Alliance comes out pretty soon this year. Like next month. So Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance getting, and by Dark Alliance I mean Dungeons and Dragons Dark Alliance, the new release, the completely new release that's coming out. That comes out this year, next month, June 22nd. So Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance getting a re-release so close to Dark Alliance being released is a bit of an odd choice to me. But I had no real realm of knowledge for D&D at the time of the release of Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. I mean, I was only 4 at that point. So I didn't start playing games until I was about 6 years old, starting off with the Nintendo and my older brother's Xbox. Actually, it was my older brother's Sega Genesis and Dreamcast and let me see, an Atari, the 5200. And I started off with old consoles. It was great, but I do remember seeing the case for Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. I remember seeing the case in stores, and I mean, if I had been into top-down games and dungeon crawlers at the time, then I likely would have checked it out. But it didn't take me long at all to fall madly in love with fantasy. I'm talking like after I was born. It didn't take me long at all. I mean, fantasy became one of the first loves of my life, and it is, in my mind, especially dark fantasy, this genre that I write in, that my magnum opus, well, not my magnum opus, but I'd say the big work that I have had stirring within the pot of my brain and in various places scattered around my notes, be it my notes on my phone, physical written notes and notes on my laptop, wherever, my baby. I call that a neo-dark fantasy. I don't know if that's a genre that's been touched on before or been introduced in something else. I'm sure it has, but that's what I like to write in. But I love fantasy. So if I had been older, I probably would have played this, and I think that'll be the case for a lot of people. I was secretly fascinated with D&D for for quite a while, but I guess I wasn't ready to come out of the shadows or come out of the D&D closet. A lot of us geeks growing up took a while to come out and be like, yeah, I kind of like Dungeons and Dragons, that nerdy ass game with the dice and the board and the paper and the pencils and the characters that you're role playing. But if you're into fantasy and top downs and looking for a little nostalgic kick, then I think this may be a pretty good game for you to check out. I have no personal experience of the game to speak of, so I can't talk to you about the gameplay itself and the mechanics and how it feels to hold the controller and play the game, if it's too heavy or if it's too floaty. I can't really tell you that, but I can look at gameplay, and I have, and it looks solid. It looks it's a good game. I don't know what else to say. It looks like a good game, and that's really about it. I probably, myself, my personal decision, I'm probably just going to wait for Dark Alliance to drop, because economically this decision just seems a little bit fugazi to me, just a little bit. I mean, Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance is running for $29.99 on Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, PC, and mobile. And Dark Alliance will be released on PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X, S, Xbox One, and PC on June 22nd, 2021 for $39.99. Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance is a 20-year-old game, and it is a re-release. It is a 4K upscale. Let me repeat that. It is a 4K upscale. Okay, this is not it's a graphical enhancement and making it so that you can play it on your current console, your current gen console on Steam. And it's being sold for $29.99. And Dark Alliance is being sold for $39.99. I don't know if this means that they have no faith, the developers of the game. I don't know they are, and I didn't write that down. I should have written that down. I don't know if this means that they have no faith in D&D Dark Alliance, or if they're saying that Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance is being jacked up in price because it's so damn old and you can't play it otherwise. Because most people don't have PlayStations anymore. I do have my PlayStation 2. No, I don't have my PlayStation 2 anymore. I did. I do have PlayStation 2 games because at some point I will again become very nostalgic for those games. So if Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance was found to me, if I just stumbled into, like any game store or any, local game shop, and they had, like trade-ins, and it was just there, BG Dark Alliance, then shit, I'll pick it up. So what do I think you guys should do? I think you guys should wait for Dark Alliance. But still, BG Dark Alliance is a enjoyable enough game from me to you, as coming from a person who has not played it. And anyways, last but not least, this is a quick one actually. Game Builder Garage. Nintendo is making a game for Switch that is going to teach people how to program, how to make video games. We are entering a world of cyberpunk. We are entering if you are a Ready Player One fan like I am, I do really enjoy the movie. I know a lot of people have their hearsay about, Ready Player One from directed by Steven Spielberg, but I'm a huge fan. I just think, just don't be such a critic. Don't be such a critic. I love movies too. I love movies. They are a huge passion of mine. Sometimes you gotta just be able to turn off and turn off that know-it-all brain and be like, all right, this is that's look at this. This is so rushed. And they're like, dude, just to be a kid, okay? So Nintendo realizes that the person who is going to create the Oasis is young. Right now. Like, they're growing up. They're kids. The person who's going to build the Oasis from Ready Player One is a child, right? As we speak, and they are alive as we speak. Game Builder Garage is going to be one of the perfect introductions for that child to build the Oasis. And I am going to play Game Builder Garage because it's no coincidence in my mind. This is just divine timing. It's no coincidence in my mind that this game is being released around a time where I'm getting into coding and programming and game design. Not really getting into game design, but thinking about all the game design ideas that I have, all the story ideas that I have for games, and being like, yeah, sure, man, I'll make a little indie game based off of that. I don't know what kind of style I have, but I'll make a little something. Why not? I'm a Renaissance man. I'll do it, sure. Game Builder Garage comes along, fuck it, man. I will play that. This has been Dre with tonight's Minisode. I thank you all for listening. I thank you all for being with me as I went through these three games, and I hope you took something from it. I hope it was valuable to you. If you took even a slight, teeny tiny bit of worthwhile piece of information, if any of it was useful to you, then by golly, I did my damn job. And I wish you all adieu. Have a good night, guys.